This is the Selmer Music Guidance Survey. The survey is divided into 4 parts, including recorded examples of pitch, harmony, melody, and rhythm. The first section is on pitch. On the recording, you will hear several pairs of musical tones. You are to judge whether the second tone is the same as the first, or whether it is higher or lower. Let's hear some examples just for practice. You are not to mark your card on these examples. Here is the first. The second sounded higher, so you would circle the letter H, meaning higher. Here is another example. Those sounded exactly alike, didn't they? So you would draw a circle around the letter S, meaning same. Here is one more example. The second tone sounded lower, didn't it? So you would draw a circle around the letter L, meaning lower. Now have your pencils ready and listen very carefully. You will hear another pair of tones, and under A1 on your student blank, you will circle H, S, or L, depending on whether the second tone is higher, the same as, or lower than the first. Here is A1. A2. A3. A4. A5. A6. A7. A8. A9. A10. A11. A12. A13. A14. A15. and A16. Now we are ready for the second part of the survey, and this one uses chords. A chord is a combination of 3 or more tones played together. Don't mark your card yet, just listen as the recording plays some examples. This time, the second chord was exactly the same as the first, so you would circle the letter S, meaning same. Here is another example. One of the notes changed, didn't it? So you would draw a circle around the letter D, meaning different. Remember that changing a single note changes the whole chord. So if you hear any change at all, you should circle D. Now have your pencils ready and listen carefully. You will hear 2 chords, and under B1 on your student blank, you will circle S or D depending on whether the second chord is the same as or different from the first. Here is B1. B2. B3. B4. B5. B6. B7. B8. B9. B10. B11. B12. B13. B14. B15. And B16. In In the third part of the survey, you will hear a combination of 4 tones, played one after the other, which form a melody. After a short rest, you will hear the second group of tones, and you are to decide if the second group is the same as or different from the first. Listen as the recording plays some examples. Do not mark your card on these examples. Here is the first. The second melody was the same as the first, wasn't it? So you would circle the letter S for same. Here is a second example. This time, the second melody was different from the first, so you would circle the letter D, meaning different. Now have your pencils ready and listen carefully. You will hear 2 melodies, and under C1 on your student blank, you will circle S or D, depending on whether the second melody is the same as or different from the first. Here is C1. C2. C3. C4. C5. C6. C7. C8. C9. C10. C11. And C12. Now here's the last part of the survey. This section uses rhythms. Many students think this is the easiest of all. On the recording, you will hear a rhythmic figure, and after a short rest, a second one. Again, you will circle S for same and D for different. Let's listen to these examples, but don't mark your card. Here's the first. The second sounded exactly like the first, so you would circle the letter S for same. Here is the second example. This time, the second rhythm was different from the first, so you would circle D for different. Now have your pencils ready and listen carefully. You will hear two rhythms, and under D1 on your student blank, you will circle S or D, depending on whether the second rhythm is the same as or different from the first. All ready? Here is D1. D2. D3. D4. D5. D6. D7. D8. D9. D10. D11. D12. D13. D14. D15. and D16.